With the Knights playing as well as they are, you will not want to miss seeing their next home game in person. Baltimore comes to town for the first time to Metro Stadium. It's the next New York Knight home game. Call 1-800-GO-KNIGHTS. Get your tickets now. Or you can listen live here. Oh, look at Parkeet Scholl! This is ridiculous! That is another touchdown! Parkeet Scholl! I'm speechless. I can't believe this guy. I mean, look at the burst of speed at the second level.
4 down linemen for Louisville in what appears to be a 4-2-5 set. Coleman back to pass. Coleman pump fake, and then a sack. Rick O'Reilly with the big play to force the Houston punter on the field for the first time tonight. And for O'Reilly, that's sack number 7 on the season. O'Reilly, a monster on the inside. Big play there for the Louisville defense.
First and 10 of the 26, Marconi dropping the throw. And Marconi against the late blitz will go deep down the field, and that one is caught! Past Grayson Abarazzo. Shigeki can't catch him. It's a Maurer touchdown. The 3rd touchdown for Abarazzo in the game. And it just looked like the Legend defense kind of got tangled up. And Grayson went for the pick, and he over pursued.
That was just an outstanding throw by Rocco. I mean, he's 6'5", I believe. Yeah, he's 6'5", 225, long, rangy, strong, quick arm.
Rastelli back to pass. Rastelli going to the end zone. Pass is caught for a touchdown. Kendall Gilbert, and Baltimore's on the board. Give me some of that crab call. Baltimore cuts into their early deficit. Rastelli's got 6 touchdowns and no picks in the last 6 quarters of action. 2nd and 2 at the 40. Christensen will pass again. They are staying away from Kim. That ball, oh, it's belted up in the air, and Nick Nitro picked it off. That is tremendous defensive effort. Who dove in front of that pass? That was Aquantis Shine, who dove in front of the pass and knocked the ball up in the air. That was one of the best defensive plays I've seen in a long time out of Aquantis Shine. A.J. Levy, 6 seasons, all with Sioux Falls, the strong safety number 42. Chris Dodd, free safety in his 3rd season, wears number 49. Alex Parker and Nick Fargo, the linebackers, 91 and 92 respectively, as Rahman steps into the pocket. Rahman gonna air it out deep, and Thomas Rahman's pass intercepted off the deflection by A.J. Levy. What a play by the veteran.
Well, you mentioned it, Cam. Levy and Dodd, probably the best safety combo here in the SFL. And Levy, a longtime veteran leader of this defense, comes away with his 6th interception.
So 4 receivers set here on 3rd down and goal. I guess this won't be a run. Christensen in the gun, looking towards the end zone, firing into the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. The Pride extend their lead.
What a throw by Christensen again. Has all day to throw and a post route. And that one, I mean, it's not bad coverage by Chappelle. It's just a perfect throw and a great route by Ken.
3rd down and 2 from the 12. Go Knights rings throughout Metro Stadium. St. Clair to pass. St. Clair to the end zone. Intercepted. Oh no! Joe Lynn picked it off. You gotta be kidding me. And 1 1st down will give the Crabs yet another 1-possession victory over New York. 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line. Hand off to Overstreet, right side. Overstreet makes one man miss, and then another. And here goes Overstreet off to the races. Down the sideline, 20. He will be not tackled, and he scores again. 17th touchdown for David Overstreet. And Louisville has scored 19 straight points. And Overstreet is checking on the pulse of Oklahoma City.
And week 1 action in the Simulation Football League rolls on here on Saturday night. Next stop, Tulsa, Oklahoma, where a pair of sim football heavyweights are ready to step between the lines for 4 quarters of non-stop action as the Vancouver Legion take on the Tulsa Desperados. This is the Simulation Football League presented by the SFL on YouTube. Coming to you from our broadcast location, I'm Josh Circle, and joining me in the booth, making his SFL debut tonight, Virginia's own Cameron Duty. KD, welcome to the show. What are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's so cool to be here. I'm super excited. I'm as pumped as I've ever been for a football game. I'm just looking for a fun game. I think we're going to get that. Both of these teams, man, Vancouver and Tulsa both, veterans, on this team that I think is going to be the anchor for both of these units. It's going to be interesting to see which one comes out of here. Momentum's a big thing in the SFL. If you get off to a good start, who knows where it might take you. So I'm looking for a close game, I can tell you that. And more importantly, I'm looking for, a lot of big plays. It may take a while for the guys to settle down and get in the groove of things, the guys and gals, but, it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to see another fun game in this week 1. It's been a great one so far. Proud to be here, guys.
Glad to have you, KD. This is going to be a fun matchup. These teams have been around the SFL for a long time. Vancouver joined in Season 9, Tulsa in Season 10 right after. This will only be their 4th meeting ever, and Vancouver has won the first 3. 2 out of those 3 being here in Oklahoma. Vancouver coming onto the road one more time after a playoff appearance in Season 19, and the Legion will get the ball first. Tulsa, decked out in teal jerseys, orange pants, and white socks. Vancouver in their home whites, gray pants, white socks, and white helmets as well. Let's light this candle. Vancouver will run this out. And down at the 20-yard line is where the Legion will start on the offensive side of the ball. Let's introduce the Vancouver offense while we can. On the offensive line, Mike Coverson and Michael Percoco. The wide receiving core, Justice Blackwell, Hector Huxley, Brett Killian, and Chris Curtis. The fullback, Sawyer Stern. Halfback, Robert Redford in his 11th SFL season. And under center, number 4, Christian Brown. And a 2-back set here on 1st and 10. Hands off, that is Redford. Over 1,000 yards last season, 1,174 to be exact. 2nd and 9.
It's really interesting. It's no surprise that they go to the run first. I mean, you want to set a tempo here. You want to see what you've got up the middle. Maybe break up some good runs into some passing plays. We'll see what they do on 2nd down.
You're going to stay in the 2-back set, KD. Stern directly in front of Redford here. Brown will throw. Has a receiver open. That is James Walters, the tight end. Season number 6 for James Walters. And he has his first catch of season 20.
You mentioned Walters, that is his 6th season and his 6th with Vancouver. So this guy, he knows his role. He does it efficiently. And again, right there on that out route, sure-handed receiver.
And now trips to Brown's left here on a big 3rd down. And Brown's going to put this up in the air, deflected and picked off. Cameron Shaw with the tip drill interception. And Tulsa's going to start their first drive of the game with tremendous field position.
And momentum to go on top of that. I mean, you've seen that as soon as that ball was batted up into the air, that was anybody's game. But what a fantastic defensive coverage right there. And coming down with the big play, setting them up for perfect field position. Really excited to see what Tulsa can do here.
And Tulsa, who after struggling in the middle of their lifespan have had winning seasons, gone 7-5 in season 18 and 19. Will now take over on the offensive side of the ball. JQ under center, and he will throw on 1st down. Has a receiver open, and already Tulsa moving the chains here on their opening drive of the game. That looks like DJ Bandit, number 82.
Yeah, Bandit, he's another one of those guys. Like I said, sure hands, always, you can count on him when you need a big reception right there. It's important to get in a good groove here, and that's what they're doing. First play from scrimmage, another 1st down.
Q in the shotgun this time. 4 wideouts. And Q will throw again, and it's Bandit again. And Bandit needs an entire Legion to bring him down. 2nd and 4.
I'm interested to see what they come up with here. You'd kind of expect that they're going to go to the run, or at least you'd think so on this short yardage situation. We'll have to see there. Maybe see if they can get Brown into the action.
Douglas Brown, their tremendous halfback. He waits directly behind Q. Lars Bazar, the fullback, also in the game. Short drop, and there is Douglas Brown with his first catch of season 20, and that will be good for a first down. Douglas Brown, 121 receptions all time, making 122.
And he got just enough, didn't he? I mean, that was close. He stretched just enough there to get that first down, but great effort to get past the marker.
Very economical effort by the third-year halfback. Q under center again, trips to his right this time. Brown in the backfield by his lonesome. And he gets the call here on first down. And he is brought down with a vengeance. Outstanding play. That is Josh Farnsey, the inside linebacker. Coming up big, making a tackle for no gain, 2nd and 10.
He really snuffed that one out. I mean, you could tell he read that from the get-go, right as soon as the snap. He knew where that was going to go, and he met him right at the line.
Q going to the shotgun here on 2nd and 10. DJ Bandit in the game as well to Q's left. Short drop. He puts it over the middle. That is caught. It's going to be 1st and goal for Tulsa. This time it's DJ Hume making a big catch for the Desperados.
And you know what? Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm starting to see, a lot of spreading the football around here, trying to get all the receivers, and even the running backs there involved in these passes. But that was great. He put that where only he could get it. Talk about threading the needle. Great pass and a great reception.
Outstanding opening drive here by JQ. 5th-year quarterback looking like the seasoned veteran that he is. Now a 3-back set here on 1st and goal. Brown makes a move. He's into the end zone. And Tulsa strikes first with a touchdown.
Talk about trying to get some momentum there, trying to capitalize on that. That is what it's all about. I mean, you take advantage of an opportunity that your defense gave you, coming up with the big interception, and then on top of that, you follow it up with positive yardage all the way down. They never even did get dropped behind the line of scrimmage, I don't believe. So, that's a great clinic right there. When you have an opportunity that presents itself, you got to take it. And Tulsa, they very much did that to get on the board first.
And I had a secret bet with myself as to who would score first, Douglas Brown or his wife, Brooke Beisel, who now stands by to kick the extra point. And the groom came out ahead this time. But Beisel makes a contribution of her own. The kick is up and good. And Tulsa leads 7-0.
Teamwork's what it's all about, right? So there you go. One gets the halfback carry into the end zone, and then, she follows through with the kick. That's awesome.
I have been told that teamwork makes the dream work. And it couldn't have worked any better there for Tulsa. Scoring on the turnover, getting the short field, and driving down for the opening touchdown. In Vancouver, we'll get the ball back here as Beisel kicks it away. And again, Beisel gets it into the end zone. And they will take over at the 22-yard line. Christian Brown, see if he can improve upon his initial effort.
Exactly. I mean, you want to try to shake off that first turnover, see what you can do, kind of get settled in here and try to make an answer.
We'll introduce the Desperados defense on this next play. Brown under center this time, trips to his right. Both quarterbacks looking to sling here in the early going. And this time it's Brett Killian making a big catch over the middle. Killian, 13,000 yards and change all time. Adding to that total with 4 yards there, 2nd and 6.
Great career that he's had, and it just keeps going too. As we were talking about consistency and longevity, we're looking at both teams that have a lot of veterans on both sides of the ball.
Killian sitting on 99 career touchdowns. Can he hit the 100 TD plateau tonight? Christian Brown will try and help with that as he finds Killian again, this time on the sideline. And Killian's gain there, good enough for a Vancouver first down.
Nice, just to keep the chains moving. We'll take a look at the replay. And first off, you'll see good protection by the offensive line. Really set that up, give it time for the play to develop, and then coming up with the pass on the out route. Nice job staying in bounds.
And as if this Vancouver receiving core wasn't lethal enough last year with Brett Killian and Chris Curtis, they added Justice Blackwell,
Should make them pretty lethal.
Absolutely. Tulsa on the twist this time. The completion again. And Brown's starting to catch fire, and again, it's Killian.
Yep, getting warmed up. You know, I mean, you kind of see there, you know, on the initial drive before the turnover, they were moving the ball pretty well. So, you know, you got to wonder what would have happened had that turnover not taken place.
Vancouver on the march here. Their second drive of the game. The handoff to Redford, and Redford takes a shot. That's Cameron Shaw drilling Redford, bringing it back almost to the line of scrimmage. He will get forward progress, 2nd and 8.
Cameron Shaw, 6'3", 205 pounds in his 6th season, all with Tulsa. An anchor on that defensive side, but a great play. I mean, like we said, he met him right there, and he made sure he didn't get a step further.
Redford will get the call again and has nowhere to go. That is Mike Mello, the second-year defensive tackle, bringing him down in the backfield. Now it's 3rd and long.
I think the phrase is bend but don't break, right? So they gave up a couple of nice passes. They got the ball down to about midfield, and now you're starting to see this Tulsa defense begin to stiffen up and making it a long 3rd down.
Brett Killian has 3 catches all on this drive. Will he get number 4 here on 3rd and 9? Brown in the shotgun over the middle, and that is caught. It's Blackwell this time. And Blackwell gets the Legion into plus territory. The 4th-year wideout coming up big in the clutch.
Yeah, great play formation. I mean, just enough time to put his receiver right there, right where he could get it, right over the middle, you know, right away from coverage. It's a really smart play, keeping the ball protected as well, you know, not putting it in any harm's way to throw a turnover or to come up short on that down.
Brown 5 of 6 so far in the game. His only incompletion, that Cameron Shaw interception. And now Redford up the middle gets positive yardage with that Vancouver over O-line getting a push. It's a gain of 5 to make it 2nd and 5.
You know, it's early. I know that we're still, you know, about 4 minutes in the first quarter here of this game 1 for both of these teams. But you're starting to see the offensive lines both are really doing a nice job. We haven't seen much negative yardage, have we, on either side of the ball so far?
We have not. Offense has ruled the day here in the early goings as we're winding down here in the first quarter. Well, there's a little bit of defense for you there, KD.
Yeah,
another tackle in the backfield.
Just what we were talking about.
Yes, Jaden Swift this time, making us look like fools here in the broadcast booth with the broadcaster's jinx in full effect.
That's how it goes. Just as soon as it's like speaking it into existence, right?
It's true.
We've done it.
It has been well documented. Brown again, this time on 3rd down, putting it up, and that is caught! And running to the end zone is Chris Curtis, his first catch of the game. Good for a Vancouver touchdown.
1 catch, 1 touchdown. It doesn't get any better than that, 100% so far tonight on those scoring efforts. But what a great play. I mean, we go back, we take a look at the replay here. Again, plenty of time to find his man, and there he finds him right over the shoulder throw. And after that, it's all muscle to power his way into the end zone. Great play. Fantastic. And what a great answer to that original score there by Tulsa. Vancouver coming right down the field and making it happen.
And that is usually what Vancouver does. They find an answer. And Travis Arthur looked like he just took a little bit of a shallow angle trying to catch Curtis, and who did not break stride when he caught that ball and sauntered on the way to the end zone. And now chance to win. They add the extra point. It's up and good. Just like that, Katie, we got a brand new ball game. We're knotted at 7 apiece.
Yep, back to the drawing board, wipe the slate clean. Let's see what they can do. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it really is. Like I said, this is my first SFL game getting to call it with you guys, and for this first quarter, man, I mean, you know, what can I say? This is everything and more of what you hope for.
Well, here's a message for folks just like you, Katie. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy, and it's Gabriel Manning who puts his offense on the 25-yard line. And now we'll see if JQ has any answers of his own as the Desperados offense comes back out.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting. I mean, to see what they do here. Obviously, no men in the backfield.
Douglas Brown getting a breather here on the first play of the drive. Q in the shotgun. 4-man rush. And there's Manning again after the kickoff return. We're on a nice little 7 and out to make it 2nd and 3. Good start.
Yeah, indeed. You know, like we say, it's all about tone, and both of these teams have certainly set the tone so far. I mean, you take a look at those first 2 drives, marching right down the field. We could be in for one of those games where it comes down to whoever has the ball last. I don't know, but it's kind of looking that way.
3 drives, 1 turnover, and 2 touchdowns. All data points showing affirmative. Douglas Brown off tackle. Nice little spin move and moves the chains for Tulsa. Let's introduce the Tulsa offense, the wide receiver core. Gabriel Manning in his 11th SFL season. Sonzo Robinson, his 10th SFL season. And DJ Hume, Corey Jones in his 13th season, wearing number 13. Lars Bazaar, the fullback. DJ Bandit, the tight end. Douglas Brown, the fullback. The halfback, making the carry there around the right side to make it 2nd and 6. Douglas Brown already getting some volume here tonight. Carry number 4 for the third-year halfback on that play.
Like you said, 3 years, all 3 here with Tulsa, making a good name for himself. He's one of those runners that the more you give him the ball, the more the passing lanes begin to open up. We'll see if they keep with that right here.
Brown has been instrumental in the turnaround of this franchise. JQ's going to throw here on 2nd and 6. Takes a hit and still completes the pass to Gabriel Manning, who's inside the red zone. And Tulsa has got something cooking here at home.
Wow, and just, we were just talking about that. That running game, that kind of opened up that passing opportunity. They kind of lulled them into thinking they might run it. Look at that throw. Perfect. Some pretty good coverage there, too, but he just went up and got the ball. I mean, that's all you can say. He went up for it, and he, snagged that one out of the air. Great job.
Absolutely. Zach Lee, it looked like he was going for the pick, trying to get that ball, but Manning was behind him. And Manning looked like he was not going to be caught there. Fortunately, Vancouver had ideas. And now JQ, that is going to be incomplete, looking for Manning. Overthrew him a little bit. His adrenaline might be pumping a little bit. I certainly know the feeling. 2nd down.
Probably, like you mentioned, probably exactly what it is. They're pumped up right now, and just a little bit of miscommunication. But that's something that you also see at the beginning of a season too. Continuing to work out your timing patterns, and I think they'll settle down as this thing goes on.
That was Q's first incompletion of the game. Was 6 on his previous 6. And now 3-back set on 2nd down. Brown gets the call. And maybe a yard or 2 as Marquise Reed got penetration. He was able to hog-tie the third-year running back. Big 3rd down coming up.
And that was a nice stop. It forces them into a long 3rd down. Not going to be as easy. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with here.
6 defensive backs on the field for the Legion. 5 wideouts for Desperados. And JQ's going to complete it over the middle. That is Corey Jones. Career reception number 650 for Corey Jones, and it's a good one. Tulsa, 1st and goal.
That is awesome. 6'1", 197 pounds. He is in his 13th year, 11th with the team.
And back to the 3-back set. A lot of personnel changes here for Tulsa on this drive. Josh Farnsey showing blitz. Q's going to throw. That is deflected. That was Major Key. And that had a major chance of being run back the other way if Key was able to get his other 9 fingers on it. 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, but that kind of had me up on the edge of my seat when I was watching that.
A little bit.
I thought for sure. Yeah, I thought he was going to, grab that one and turn the other way. But big break right there for Tulsa, man. That could have been devastating.
And Key read that the whole way too. When Q let go of that ball, I was like, oh boy. We'll see what happens here on 2nd and goal. 3-back set again. And this time to the left for Brown. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him and gets into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And that spin move. Take a look at that on the replay. Watch him. I mean, he sees the coverage. They're coming up, and then whoop.
Beautiful.
If I could do my best John Madden impression, I mean, that was awesome. Loved it.
And 1 touchdown by land, and now 1 touchdown by air to give Tulsa their 2nd lead of the game. And now Brown's better half, Brooke Bison, will come on for the extra point. And I think you nailed it, KD. We might be looking at a shootout here in the early goings as we are in the last minute of the first quarter. We've already seen 3 touchdowns.
You know, you're exactly right. I mean, that does look to be the case, of course, you know, as we get ready to end on this first quarter here. But just a shootout so far. I'm loving it.
And JQ has looked particularly sharp. You look at his stats from last season, and accuracy was a concern through 30 interceptions, which was not a lot by SFL standards. You will see some turnovers in this league. Certainly not where Tulsa would like him to be, but he has looked very fine so far. Justice Blackwell will run back the kickoff from his own goal line and get out to the 23. And Vancouver will try and answer a second time.
Again, you look at the comment section. Henry Jones says, "What can Brown do for you?" We might have to trademark that again. That's pretty cool. I like that. So far, it's working out pretty well for him.
Can we trademark things twice? Is that I don't know anything about trademark law.
I don't know. I think we may have to go to the library and kind of do some work there.
Check out some reference material
It
on
needs to go
trademark law.
back.
Christian Brown over the middle, and that is going to be dropped. And, yeah, he wishes he had that, didn't he? That's John Clements, the number 5 wide receiver in this offense, and quite frankly playing like it's 2nd and 10.
So here we are. We're winding down, you know, almost to the end of this first quarter. You expect the nerves, the attrition to you know, if everybody kind of settle in, I guess you would say. And now we'll see if, again, they answer. But are we going to maybe even start seeing the defense show up and maybe turn this thing into a little bit of a gridlock?
Short drop by Brown, and there's Walters again, and Walters has a first down. And Walters does not get a lot of volume, but, man, he is a slippery little dog coming up with high leverage catches just like that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good-sized guy. I mean, look, he's hard to bring down. It usually takes more than one defender to bring him down. I mean, look at him turn upfield, and once he does, it's off to the races.
There are a lot of wide receivers in this league that do not have that kind of footwork. That was an outstanding pivot. My Achilles is throbbing just watching him do that. 1st and 10. Vancouver out to the 35 now. Going 5 wide. Brown takes the hit as he throws it, and the receiver could not bring it in. I think that might have been Blackwell, the intended receiver, 2nd and 10.
I think that's going to bring us to the end of the first. But, man, I'm out of breath. That was such a good first quarter.
Hey, we got 3 more of these to go, Katie. You better come correct.
Talk about initiation.
Tulsa holding serve at home. Going to be game, set, match for Vancouver. You're watching the SFL on SFL YouTube. Tulsa, Oklahoma, SFL kickoff weekend action. Josh Zirkle, Cameron Duty in the booth. Zach Holdorf, Scott Fell on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine also producing this Tulsa Desperados team that has scored on both of their drives in the opening quarter and now looking to stymie the Vancouver offense as Robert Redford is going to make this third and interesting as we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. It's going to be interesting to see if they want to, pound it down the middle or if they want to go to the air on this one.
Sawyer Stern back in the game. As Brown is going to throw it over the middle. That is caught. And James Walters coming up big again, moving the chains for the second time in this drive.
Yeah, he's really establishing himself as the go-to guy at the moment. I mean, you take a look at that, especially over the middle. He has a knack for getting wide open there. He's just kind of, like you say, slippery, and he always makes his presence known.
It's tough to be 6'5" and not make your presence known. Not speaking from experience at all. Brown over the middle again, and again it's Walters. And I can't help but notice a trend here, KD, as Vancouver has another first down.
Yeah, they've got to, like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing here. Until they can find a way to stop him, why go away from it?
Brett Killian at the bottom of your screen. He hasn't caught a ball in a while. 5-step drop for Brown. Under pressure, down he goes. Big sack there for Tulsa at just the right time when they needed it. And that is number 96, Berto Demora.
Great job. Great penetration right there on that defensive line. He didn't even have a chance to really look up to set his feet I mean, look at that. Just as soon as he had a chance to look left, look right, he was right in his face, brought him down for the sack.
A tremendous move, getting around the right tackle to make it second at a country mile for the Legion. 2-back set, Brown under center this time. Standard look from the Desperados defense. 5-step drop, under pressure again. But this time it's Killian making a catch on the sideline. Let's sneak away real quick to SFL Studios for a game break. Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Zirkle. On John Lakeman's opening drive of his career, he goes 9 plays and throws a bomb for a touchdown to Deezer Powell in Queen City. Strikes first on Vegas on the road, 7-0. Back to the crew in Tulsa.
Boy, I'm going to have a microscope on top of Queen City this season. Keep an eye out on them. Christian Brown, meanwhile, again, finding Walters. My goodness, let's not wear this guy out too soon.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, I didn't mean to talk over top of you there, my friend. But, I just happened to notice, that sack didn't slow him down, did it? I mean, they went right back to what's been working for him, and there he was again, another great catch. And now you're 1st to 10 on the 19. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do here. Tulsa looking to tighten up. If they come away with a field goal, it'll be a good thing.
Well, if the receivers weren't enough to worry about, now you got to worry about James Walters. 5 catches on the night already. And Brown is slinging it again. Redford this time catching it over the shoulder and is corralled out of bounds not out of bounds, outside the numbers by Miles Gibson. Gibson had 97 tackles last season, has his first one tonight.
Quick back to the line here.
Brown under center, 2nd and 5. Tulsa showing blitz. Redford on the lead, 1st and goal, and now down inside the 5. And Redford's starting to feel it. All these Vancouver players are getting hot.
Like they said, spread the wealth. That's exactly what's happening. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie there. You start to take a look at it. Each and every one of these individuals, we talked about it. They're all making big plays, and they're really, I really got to say, I love the play scheme right now. I mean, really getting everybody involved.
And this is a tough offensive stop when Robert Redford gets going. And now 1st and goal. And he gets the call again. Breaking a tackle. And barely getting back to the 5. Vancouver's going to hurry up.
Yeah, we kind of seen that starting to happen on the play before that, starting to pick the tempo up.
And obviously they like the personnel here. Redford up the middle this time. Out to the 4. And Tulsa says that's fine. 3rd and goal. And now Sawyer Stern sneaking over to the left sideline. Who forgot to cover Sawyer Stern? Vancouver strikes again.
And it's continuing with the trend, getting everybody involved. Stern this time out in the flat. I mean, it was that tempo, though, of hurrying back to the line. I think it just got Tulsa a little bit on edge, and then that's where they're able to punch it in there with a great pass and great hookup.
I think we were all a little surprised by that. Sawyer Stern, who had all of 19 catches, barely more than 1 per game in season 19. And his first catch tonight, about as big as it gets, as Vancouver's an extra point away from tying this game. And they do with the extra point for chance to win. It's 14-14. And I'm going to do a read real quick, Katie.
You're right ahead.
All right, liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. And here comes an operation right now. Gabriel Manning right up the middle. And down at the 21-yard line, our shootout KD is still coming to fruition, just as we planned all along.
Yeah, it really looks that way. And going back to the comment that you made, making this league grow, this kind of content right here that you're seeing in front of you. How could you not love this? As a football fan, this is what you want. We'll see if the shootout continues.
And it's something that a lot of people, when they first tune in, don't always grasp the history and the tradition and the way these players have performed and the impact that they've had on their teams, not only, as we watch here on the virtual gridiron, but also in their locker rooms, in their communities to some extent. It's been a marvelous thing to see and be a part of. And if you can find that SFL Discord link from the website, I encourage you to wander on in, say hello, and check it out for a little bit. I think it's definitely worth your time. 2nd and 6, JQ in the shotgun with a 2-back set. 5 DBs on the field for Vancouver. Q dumps it off for Brown. And Brown is going to be, that's Bandit. DJ Bandit, the tight end. He's going to be short of the sticks. 3rd and 1.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 1. They have a chance, Vancouver does, to make a big stop, and it would be the first of its kind. We haven't seen the punting unit yet. So we'll see what happens here.
Brown again. That is going to be close, but he's going to be short. 4th and inches. And does Tulsa dare some of the cojones to go for it on their own end of the field here in the first half?
Man, I don't know. I would be afraid. I'll tell you that. But maybe I'm a little bit conservative. I don't know. I'm expecting them to maybe go with a punt, and there we go. The punting unit is on the field.
I just want to point out that you mentioned the punting team, and not 30 seconds later, Ismailia Farouk is on the field for the first punt of the game for either team. Just saying. Just saying. As Blackwell takes a shot, he's down at the 34.
I don't have ESP. I may have ESPN, but I don't have ESP. That was just luck of the draw, my friend.
I think ESP is actually cheaper in this day and age.
True. No, this has been fun, yeah.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Vancouver back on the field here. And my goodness, they have all the running backs on the field right now. 3-back set. I think that's Ali Sylvie, the backup tight end, in that other fullback spot. Redford on the swing pass. That's going to be good for a couple yards. And Vancouver, to my lay perspective, seems hell-bent on getting Robert Redford going, Katie.
It looks that way. And, like you said, he's a workhorse. I mean, he's proven that way. And you take a look at Walters, too, his receptions, 5 of 5 right now. They want to try to get as many people as they can involved, but you got to believe Redford's the center of it. Absolutely.
2 tight end set. Tulsa jumps, flag on the play, and Redford's going to get loose. Out past midfield, breaking another tackle, and down inside the 40-yard line. And Tulsa did jump, but I think this play is going to stick.
Neutral zone infraction, number 96, defense.
Yeah, I mean... Yep, neutral zone infraction. So you mentioned Redford. You said that, they're starting to give him the ball and lean on him heavily, and that's what happens. He opens up lanes. Look at that spin move.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's not the first of those we've seen today either. I mean, a lot of agility out here.
Think of the ab muscles required to pull off multiple spin moves in a run like that.
None of which I have at the moment.
I might have one of those, but I'm at least 5 short. Trips to Brown's right on 1st and 10 in plus territory. And there's another little gem into the breadbasket of James Walters. And Walters slow to get up. Maybe just taking a little breather. After all, that's his 6th catch of the game. First down.
They're going to get him some oxygen. I mean, this pace, I don't know if he can keep it up the whole game.
I mean, maybe at least a little trail mix, something to get the blood circulating.
That's right.
He's had 6 catches. I think at least 5 of those have gone for first downs. Brown again, unleashing the dragon. That's caught! And dragging defenders toward the goal line is Chris Curtis, who's playing tonight like a man possessed. 1st and goal.
So that's what we're seeing. If you start to take a look at this game plan here, I mean, keep these tight ends involved. I mean, and these big guys, look at this. I mean, and you can't bring these guys down after a while. You have to imagine these haven't been just 3 or 4, yard drop-offs. These are 10, 12 yards, just chunk plays. And that's going to wear your defense down fast. And who does that leave in the backfield to run it in?
Well, you would think Robert Redford. Sawyer Stern scored from this end zone earlier in the quarter. But Redford gets the call, and Redford is into the end zone for his first touchdown of season 20.
Man, just like we talked about, I mean, it begins to wear a defense out like that. And that last offensive possession was short for Tulsa, and it didn't take long for Vancouver to get the ball back. So you got to imagine this Tulsa defense is maybe starting to get a little bit winded at this pace.
Could totally see that. That's an outstanding point. And now chance to win. Perhaps a little winded by himself, taking his sweet time, getting this extra point lined up. And why not? Savor the flavor. Vancouver with their first lead of the game to win boots it through. The Legion lead 21-14. One in-depth statistics all season long. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for information about the league. It's 28 teams, and see all the league records, all the team stats, all the player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. Gabriel Manning from his own end zone, he's going to run this out. And he will just barely get to the 20-yard line. Are you hitting the panic button yet if you're Tulsa, KD?
Yes, I think so. Because of the pace. I mean, like we just mentioned, they haven't been stopped yet. Vancouver, of course, and so I think Tulsa needs to come back with a stern response here. No pun intended. Stern response, but we'll see what they can do. I think it's essential.
3:20 left in the first half. 80 yards to the promised land for JQ. He starts with the shotgun on first down. Lets it rip. That's a high throw to Hume. And DJ Hume is going to get hit with a loss. I thought he was going to get forward progress on that, but nothing doing. 2nd and 11.
I mean, like you say, going back to the point that we were going to make before that, the panic button, I think you need to come away with some points here. Here we are going into the end of the second quarter, into the first half here. It's important to get some more points up on the board so you can stay close to them.
And now trips to Q's right. And he will fire again. And there's a big catch. DJ Hume was able to work with that throw. And he's going to get, so close to the sticks. 3rd and inches, or centimeters if you're in Canada.
And that's going to be interesting to see what they can do here. 3rd one, you kind of would just expect them to pound it down their throat. But, again, we will see.
Time is a factor here.
That's true.
But they are in a 3-back set. Brown gets the call. And Brown is corralled behind the line of scrimmage. Cambrian Womack says, no, sir. Now, Tulsa's going to have to give Vancouver the ball back as we're about to hit the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted to see, is it? As we just talked about, it was going to be essential to keep up with this pace. I mean, this defense, you got to imagine they're going to get pretty wore out.
I'm getting a little worn out myself. Cameron Duty here in his first SFL game, and it's a good one. Vancouver leading 21-14. You're watching the SFL on SFL YouTube. Tulsa, Oklahoma, SFL kickoff weekend. Josh Circle, Cameron Duty in the booth. Zach Holdorf, Scott Fell on stats. Thank you, guys. Cameron Irvine producing. Ismail Farouk punting. Oh, boy. And that was a little more exciting than Tulsa would have liked. And the ball is fair caught by Justice Blackwell. Right at the 36-yard line, Vancouver has scored on their last 3 drives. Each touchdown from 3 different players, Cameron Curtis, Sawyer Stern, and Robert Redford. And they have a chance to get one more bite at the apple with 1:54 left in the first half.
This could be a big game changer right here if they can put some points up at the end of this drive.
Christian Brown will hand off to Redford. That might be a signal as to what Vancouver intends to do. They may just sit on the 7-point lead and head to intermission with that comfortable margin.
It's been a great first half, though. The fan in me just continues to rave about how good it has been. But great competition out here so far.
Absolutely. It has been fun to watch. And it's great to have the SFL back on my computer screen. I can say that for sure. Christian Brown over the middle again. Guess who? James Walters. And Walters this time just short of the sticks. It'll be 3rd and 1. The clock continues to run. We might be less than a minute here once Vancouver snaps this ball.
A little slow to get up to, if you notice. He took a little bit more time getting up off the turf.
He's a bit tuckered, I'm sure. Redford, around the left side, has the first down, out past midfield. and gets into plus territory, and now Vancouver will hurry up. They have all 3 timeouts. They declined to use them.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Brown under center in a 2-back set. He's going to throw it here under big pressure, and Redford will take a shot from Cameron Shaw behind the line of scrimmage, and that will prompt Vancouver to use their first timeout.
What a hit. I mean, standing upright and just took him to the ground, didn't he? I mean, it didn't even look like he flinched.
he looked so cool trucking Redford like that. He just kind of stared down on him as if to say, don't you dare do that again. But I have a feeling he will do that again. Maybe not here on 2nd and 11. But certainly later in the game here. Sawyer Stern still on the field. Over the middle. That is nearly intercepted. Right into the hands. The stone-like hands of Miles Gibson. And he's going to be kicking himself for that one in the locker room.
You got to come up with it. I mean, that was a great play. It was 6'3", 250 pounds in his 4th year. He's an all-star from season 19. But, you need to pull that in. 41 seconds. You could have, maybe got away with some points on that one. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens on 3rd down here.
Gibson has 1 career interception. Could have doubled his money on that play. But Vancouver will play on 3rd and 11. Brown is going to cut it loose. Another tip drill. And this one falls incomplete. It's 4th and 11.
And
Chris Curtis, the intended receiver. Yes, it will. Now, if you're Tulsa, do you try and do anything here? Or do you try and run this out? Marco Swift coming up with that first tip.
There's a reason I'm in the booth, and it's not because I don't feel like I probably would be adequate there to coach one of these teams. But I have to think you need to try to make something happen, or at least I would. I'll put it that way. I'd take a shot anyway.
And this is the first appearance of Brian Patrick, the Vancouver punter. Tulsa will play it safe, no pressure. And Manning, meanwhile, playing the opposite of safe, declines the fair catch. And Tulsa will get this on the 16.
Yeah.
This is their worst starting field position of the game so far. And I'm inclined to think they may take a knee or just run this out.
Go to the halftime and take a break and try to refocus yourself.
Lars Bazar in the game at fullback. Q is going to throw it over the middle. And that was Bizarre, the intended receiver, and he took some contact as that ball was coming in. And now we'll stop the clock, Katie. 24 seconds left on 2nd down.
Well, it looks like they're at least wanting to test the downfield there and see if there's any kind of yardage they could come up with. I have to wonder if they had been able to hold on to that reception, if they wouldn't have tried to get in, field goal range at least. We'll see what happens.
Bizarre, the rookie, picked 12th overall in the most recent draft. We'll take a seat, and Q will throw again. This time to the sideline for Brown, who gets upfield. It looks like he is tackled in bounds. We'll see what Tulsa does on 3rd and 4.
Looks like they're going to be apt to just go ahead and probably let that run down, I would think anyway. I mean, that Vancouver defense did a good job of locking everything downfield and had to go for the short route.
And they will not snap it before the whistle, which brings us to intermission. Vancouver coming down south. Again, we've got a hootenanny going. They lead 21-14. Cameron Duty, your thoughts on the first half?
Really, I'm kind of speechless there. I think it's been fantastic for my first game getting to call it with you. What an offensive juggernaut this has been so far. Both teams, though, showing that they can move the ball down the field. I think it's going to be important to see which defense can really lock in. Obviously, Vancouver has done a good job of that so far, taking a 7-point lead. But we're going to see a second half. Things could change. Tulsa is a very powerful team here with a lot of firepower, and I don't expect them to go down quietly into the night. That's for sure. It's just a 7-point game at the moment.
I mean, I was really impressed with Tulsa coming out of the gate, scoring obviously with the short field on the Cameron Shaw interception for their first drive of the game, and Douglas Brown punching that in for a TD, and then he would score with a receiving touchdown on the subsequent drive. And Tulsa's been relatively quiet after that. Punt, and then the most recent possession was stopped because of the intermission. And I want to see more of that guy, Gabriel Manning. They have a veteran receiving core here in Tulsa. I think JQ is biding his time, waiting to get those folks involved. And they're, for the play of the first half, that one right there, Sawyer Stern about knocked me out of my chair. I was not expecting the fullback to make such a big catch so early in that game. Robert Redford, he is heating up as well, and that is something Tulsa's going to have to look out for as we get going in the second half. Who is your player to watch before we get things going here to start the third quarter, Katie?
Yeah, I got to think about Redford, honestly. I mean, if they keep him involved, like they're trying to get him in, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be an uphill battle for Tulsa to come back from this. And I certainly think they can do it, but they're gonna have to lock down. This defense is really gonna have to stiffen up, and I think that begins with taking Redford out of the game. And honestly, Walters too. They've been fantastic thus far.
Absolutely, over 120 yards between the two of them. Redford on pace to surpass the century mark on the ground, but it'll be Tulsa returning the opening kickoff to start the third quarter. Gabriel Manning out to the 26-yard line, and that is where JQ will set up shop as we begin the third quarter.
You mentioned getting Manning involved. I have to agree 110%. I mean, he's 6'4", 220 pounds. Let's remind everyone, 11 years in the league, 6 with Tulsa, and a 6-time All-Star. That's where you want to start at. Get him involved, get the momentum going, and see if things open up.
And for those of you just joining us, we're here in Lucy Red Stadium here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Visit Lucy Red Energy Drink at lucyred.com. Let's see why the energy is amazing. And speaking of amazing, Corey Jones going up, and away to bring down that catch at midfield.
That was nice. And, trying to set the tempo, come out with your foot on the gas. I think that's what we're seeing here. Watch him turn upfield, and just a great job to go up and get over both of those defenders right there. I mean, how pretty is that? You're going to see that on the highlight reel, I think.
Working against Michael Lister and Major Key. No slouches in the defensive secondary. And Corey Jones just plucked that ball out of midair like it was an apple hanging off a tree. 1st and 10 here for mid. They are in plus territory. Past the midfield stripe. JQ in the shotgun. 5 wideouts for the Desperados. 6 DBs for Vancouver. And Q is firing, and that is just slapped away by Josh Farnsey. Let's sneak away to SFL Studios for a game break with Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Josh. John Lakeman giveth and taketh away. This time, Lakeman on his first incompletion as an SFL quarterback throws it to Max Jackson, and he takes it back to the house. Mid-second quarter, tied at 10. Back to Josh and Cam in Tulsa.
You mess with Max Jackson, you get the horns. Thank you, Cam. Douglas Brown getting a couple of horns on his own. To be in Central Oklahoma, not a big deal to him. Gus Schultz may return. We'll keep an eye on his cramps for all those concerned. It's 3rd and 8.
All right. Yeah, I want to give a shout out real quick to Farnsey, if you don't care, on that play before that, batting that down. I mean, he read the eyes the whole way. I just want to kind of give a shout out there. I thought that was a great defensive play.
It sure was. His feet were perfectly set. He knew right where he had to be. And there's another first down. As the passing game now heating up, Sonzo Robinson come on down, making a big catch to keep the chains moving for the Desperados.
Coming up big. That's what they needed right there. I mean, watch him stands right there in the pocket and delivers a perfect pass. And I believe that was Farnsey there on that stop as well. But, great offensive drive again going right here for these guys. Just what we needed them to, respond, and so far they're doing it. We'll see if the Vancouver defense will allow that.
Career catch number 714 for Robinson. And Q is complete again, this time checking down to Bandit. With that little in route over the middle, and that's good for 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Well, they're doing everything that we've wanted them to do, right? I mean, that we mentioned that they really needed to do, come out here and set a tone. Look at that passer rating, 120.4, 165 yards, and a passing touchdown today. With the way it's looking, there may be more of that to come.
I will say that whatever JQ has wanted to do against this defense, he has been able to do it. The question is just how ambitious does he want to get? Speaking of ambitious, Douglas Brown up the right side with a pair of spin moves gets his team into the red zone. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be brought down, was he?
He was not.
Three defenders, and I mean he's still going. And watch that! Look at that spin move. I mean he is really he's really perfecting that. I don't mean to trip over my words there, but it's amazing. That's not the first time we've seen him do that today, and he makes defenders miss. Going back to the Achilles that you're talking about, there are going to be quite a few sore ones after trying to bring him down.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 now from the 18. Still 5 DBs on the field for Vancouver. Hughes going to sprint out and finds Manning around the left side. And that was a nice little move to get around Michael Lister, but it's going to be 2nd and 6.
It's nice, not a big play, obviously, but it does make 2nd down more manageable. And, that could also maybe give them an opportunity to go back to that ground game right there. The shorter, it's common sense, but the shorter the yardage there, the playbook just opens up. And for a team like Tulsa, that's dangerous.
Gabriel Manning, the only wideout on the field right now for Tulsa. He's at the top of your screen. Brown will go around the left side, making a spin move inside the 10, the 5, the touchdown, number 3 for Douglas Brown.
And there it was. We just talked about it, didn't we? Let's take a look at that replay, because I know we're probably going to. That spin move, again, that caught him off guard, and he's perfecting that tonight. I mean, he's doing that better than probably I've ever seen him do that.
Great look from the khaki cam there as Douglas Brown gets around the left side. And as you said, just so elusive. Wrapping him up just is not enough. And you see the stat line there on Brown. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. He has done all the scoring, aside from that of his good lady wife, Brooke Beisel, who's about to boot her 3rd extra point of the contest. And it is good, and we are knotted at 21, KD. We got a brand new ball game.
Let's take a look at the chat there. Look what's popping up there. What can Brown do for you? I'm telling you, we're going to have to do some trademark research here, because I think we could have something here. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I think all of us should trademark it just in case. Let's just be totally sure, and at least one of us, I think, would have a valid claim at the end of the day.
Putting on a show, that's for sure.
My goodness, absolutely. Justice Blackwell from his own end zone. He's going to run it out. He'll get to the 22. And Vancouver is about to start their first drive of the 3rd quarter. Blackwell this is actually his 2nd season in Vancouver. I misspoke earlier. His 4th season in the league, and he is somewhat bringing a veteran presence despite, only being in the league, this being his 4th season. 137 receptions all time. Now handling special teams duties for the Legion as well. 2-back set. Redford gets the call on 1st down. Breaking a tackle. He's loose. We'll get down to the 45. It's Travis Arthur that finally brings him down. Another big run for Robert Redford.
Yeah, still trying to find a way to stop him. It's interesting. You look at these 2 running backs. Of course, you have Brown for Tulsa with a lot of finesse, a lot of spin moves. Redford just kind of has this thing about him tonight. He's just going to take the ball, and he's just going to run over whoever's in front of him. 2 different styles, but they're working wonderfully.
And he's getting some great blocks from Sawyer Stern as well, who has done a great job of just leading the way for him. And he remains in the game, number 34, right in front of Redford.
Yes.
At the 45 this time. Vancouver has answered every touchdown from Tulsa so far. And Redford up the middle there for another nice gain. It'll be 2nd and 2.
I think our predictions are showing correct, wouldn't you? I mean, just, the things that we talked about there leading up to this 3rd quarter, the people that we seen was going to be active and critical in changing the tempo of this game. It's proven true so far.
That's because we're really smart. 2nd and 2, Redford up the middle. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. Finally brought down by Philadelphia Collins, the 4th season linebacker. And Legion, keep the chains moving.
Smarts does, that does have something to do with it, but at the same time, the material is pretty easy to study today, though, isn't it? Both of these teams playing to 100% right now.
And there's a little bit of variety. But we can tell who the money makers are. There's one of them right there, Redford. This time finally corralled after a modest gain. And Nate Heslip doing the honors. 2nd and 8.
It's so interesting to see. I mean, here we are. We're tied 21 apiece, and we're almost halfway through this third quarter, and you just keep waiting on one side of the ball to slip. And I really haven't seen it. Have you? I mean, it's awesome.
Brown finds a receiver. It's Walters again. Walters lined up as a wideout that time. And you're not going to believe this, KD, but that's another first down for Vancouver.
And both of these offensives have just done so well. I mean, yeah, it's been very, very rare that we've seen the punting units out there. We have saw a turnover, but they've responded when it's mattered. And again, you know, I go back to the point. They've got their foot on the gas. Right now, I'm starting to think, you know, when is that momentum going to end? What's going to end it? A big play is going to have to be made.
4 wideouts again. Brown has time over the middle. And that's another completion. This time he goes back to Brett Killian, who brings it down in the red zone.
6'5", 222 pounds in his 12th season. 4-time All-Star. Take a look at this replay again. Putting it right where only he can get it. And, yeah, he's met by a swarm of defenders, but sure-handed, right? I mean, and he's not one that you see make a lot of drops. So, upon contact, he's going to hold on to that football.
Tremendous effort by Killian for his 5th catch of the game. And Brown is still slinging. He finds Redford in the flat, and he is brought down by Collins, who just ran him down. Outstanding open field tackle by the outside linebacker. 2nd and 6.
I'd like to ask you a question, if you don't mind, my friend. Now, if
Please
they
do.
come out of here with a field goal, is that a victory for Tulsa? I have to say yes.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think the only drawback to that is, you know, as a defense, you know, you're talking about Tulsa needing a big play here, and I don't disagree, but, you know, you would like to stop them from scoring again at one point, other than the one punt right there at the end of the first half. And there's a stop right there as Miles Gibson lowers the shoulder on Redford to bring up 3rd down.
Just what we were talking about, right? Something to kind of, you know, stifle that momentum. We'll see what they got on 3rd down here, but this is what you're wanting if you're a Tulsa fan. I mean, you're watching them come up, bend but don't break. We'll see if they can keep them out of the end zone this time.
If you're Vancouver, there's like 3 different guys you can get the ball to. Really 4. Over the middle. And there's one right there. 1st and goal now for Vancouver. And who had Hector Huxley coming up with that catch? A 2nd wide receiver makes his first grab of season 20.
And he come up with it at a big time. I mean, and again, just spreading the ball around. It's almost too much for this Tulsa defense to handle. I mean, who's it going to be next? You know, it's you just don't know.
12 catches for Huxley, averaging 1 catch a game, and he has hit that average here. He had the 1 career touchdown. And now 1st and goal for the Legion. Redford. No, it's Stern. And Stern's going to get brought down inside the 5. Down at the 3. And Stern had such a burst out of there, I thought that was number 28 and not number 34.
I love this, you know, taking a look at this design that they've got, getting everybody involved. Like you said, Stern, Redford, even in the backfield. I mean, they're just mixing it up, making it hard for Tulsa to keep an eye on just who they're working with. Look here.
This time it's Redford, and Redford stopped for no gain. Miles Gibson ultimately doing the honors to make it 3rd and goal. And at this point, I would think 3 points absolutely is a victory, KD, if you can stop Vancouver here.
Yeah, I think so. You have to come, if you can do it, I mean, you got to be feeling pretty good about what you've got on the other side of the ball, too.
Brown under center. Redford. Spin move. Can't get away. Brought down inside the 3. And that is number 52, Chris Andrews, the defensive end. Looking slender, bringing down Redford there to make the stop.
It wasn't easy, was it? I mean, you know, he didn't want to go down.
I think every player in that Tulsa defense touched him at least once on his way to the ground. And that'll bring out a chance to win for the chip shot field goal. It's exactly the length of an extra point, 20 yards. And it is good. And Vancouver does answer the touchdown from Tulsa to retake the league, although maybe not exactly how they would have liked. It's 24-21.
I gotta say that was just like we were talking about, right? I mean, Tulsa coming up with big, a big stop right there, and that could really change things for them. We'll see what the offense can do, but if you're Vancouver, you're really wishing that you were able to knock 6 points through there.
Manning from his own 1. Up the middle, makes a move, gets loose. And that was very close to being amazing. For the last, Manning dragged down at the 37. Their second best starting field position of the night. And let's introduce the Vancouver defense, as I should have done in the first quarter, but better late than never. On the front, Achilles Papatonis, Gerald Giudice, Cabrian Womack. The linebacking core, Josh Farnsey, Marquise Reed is in his 12th SFL season, and Earl Fields the 4th. And in the secondary, Zach Lee, Michael Lister, Will Stern, Mark Lopez, Drew Hamilton, and Major Key. And there is a major play from Corey Jones. Actually, that's going to be incomplete. A major play from Mark Lopez, the 10th-year free safety. It's 2nd and 10.
I thought he had it. I really did. It took me a second to.
I did too.
I thought he had it, but wow, great defensive play right there to come in and knock that ball out of his hands.
A lot of veterans in this Vancouver secondary. Mark Lopez in his 10th season, as I mentioned. Major Key in his 9th. And Drew Hamilton, the strong safety, no slouch either. His 5th season begins tonight as well. JQ trying to get loose, but nowhere to go. Achilles Papatonis bringing him down.
Look at that. I mean, busting right through the line. I mean, you've seen him start to roll out, but he was right in his face. And no time right there to even really look up.
Doomed from the start. Now it's 3rd and a country mile for Tulsa. 3 wideouts on the field. And Douglas Brown, JQ is going to let it rip. And that is knocked away. Zach Lee denying JQ on that play, and the Desperados, for the 3rd time tonight, will punt the football.
So now we're seeing the defenses show up, right? I mean, that's interesting. We talked about it, which defense was going to show up. Really nice job by Vancouver there. I think they knew that they needed to limit Tulsa right here. I mean, they come away with only 3 points as opposed to the touchdowns they've been putting up with. Now they're going to give Vancouver the ball back. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it.
Ismailia Farouk punts it away to Justice Blackwell from his own 32. And he will be spotted at the 36. Very benevolent spot there, in my humble broadcasting opinion. And now Vancouver's going to come back out on offense. Let's introduce the Tulsa defense. On the defensive front, Chris Andrews, Mike Mello, Jaden Swift, and Berto Demora. The linebackers, Miles Gibson, Philadelphia Collins, and David Ware. And in the secondary, Nate Heslep, Marco Swift, Travis Arthur, Cameron Shaw, and Jay Rock. And Brown fights Robert Redford, who once again is roaming wild and free on the Oklahoma Plains, and that is good for another 1st down.
That's kind of becoming a patented play for Redford. If you take a look at it, they went to it a couple of times, but, just finding him out there in the flat, even when there's great coverage downfield by the defense, he can still make something happen underneath.
And that's what makes him so difficult to cover. From sideline to sideline, he could get the ball anywhere on the field. And you stop him running up the middle, it doesn't matter because they will find another way to get the ball to Robert Redford. Vancouver now approaching midfield on their 2nd drive of the 2nd half. And Redford does get stopped there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think that was Jaden Swift making the stop.
Yeah, I believe it was. That was a nice play, too. I mean, he didn't fool anybody on that one, did he? He was back in the backfield before he had a chance to even really cut up field.
2nd and 9. Vancouver's going to stay in a 2-back set. 8 in the box for Tulsa. I think that was Stern getting the call there. And Stern has nowhere to go. And Jaden Swift, once again, trying to prop up this Tulsa defense. Big 3rd down coming up.
Give credit to both these defenses. The coverage has been phenomenal now this 2nd half. I mean, they've really showed up. That's what we were both wanting to see. And so far, we're getting it.
Brown dropping back. And Blackwell makes a huge catch, putting his body on the line. And that will get the job done for Vancouver. First down.
Bring us down to the end of the third and a new fresh set of downs when we come back.
We are running out of football, and Tulsa is running out of time. Can the Desperados hold serve at home? You're watching the Simulation Football League on SFL YouTube.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. SFL kickoff weekend action. Josh Zirkle, camera duty in the booth. Zach Holdorf, Scott Fowle on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine producing. Brett Killian catching. And Killian has been a busy man. You can see the stat line there. Gonna make it 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 now, and you start to look here. Or are they going to go back to the ground with Redford? I mean, you'd think they probably would, but then again, who we haven't heard in the last little bit, and when I say that, I mean the last 5 or 6 plays is Walters.
He always seems to get the football when we least expect it. And this guy, when we always expect it, but this time Brown down behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Mello doing the honors there, and that brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, these defenses are hungry. I mean, you can see it in the way that they're playing right now. I mean, they know that we're getting down to crunch time, and it's time to buckle down.
Vancouver has only punted once this entire game. Brown in the shotgun this time, and down he goes! And guess who it is? Jaden Smith, who has come alive here in the second half, and that'll bring out the punt team for Vancouver.
6'2", 296 pounds, all 7 of his seasons here with Tulsa. He's an all-star for a reason. To give those stats, I mean, he's so elusive. When he gets inside like that, he's hard to stop, and right there was a prime example of it.
And so for the 2nd time tonight, Vancouver will punt it away. Brian Patrick awaits the snap. No pressure. Manning will refuse to play it, and that is looking pretty stout. And down at the 1-yard line. Brian Patrick will brag about that one at the next punters meeting for sure. And Tulsa in a hole on the scoreboard and as well as on the field, Katie.
What a punt. I mean, that was, like you said, he's going to be bragging about that one, and rightfully so, because now, you give the ball back, and you got to go 99 yards. They got to be really careful. Something big could happen here. Safeties aren't out of the question, and the way this defense has started to come alive, it could happen.
Douglas Brown gets the call just to get this offense a little breathing room, gets out to the 6-yard line. And I would describe that absolutely as a high-leverage run from Douglas Brown.
Yeah, I would agree. And it was important, too, to give him just a little bit of breathing room. Any little bit helps at this position.
Brown still has both feet in his own end zone. And he gets the call again, this time around the left side. He has the 1st down and fighting for yards. Gets out to the 14. And we got a drive on our hands.
Give a shout out to that offensive line too, right? I mean, coming up big right there. They didn't buckle and allowed for them to really kind of move the ball out, at least to the 14 here. Now you can see maybe you can do a little bit more, maybe even go to the air now.
Tulsa staying in the 3-back set. Brown gets the call again. And Lars Bazar and Royal Hawkins, the backup tight end, just paving the way for Brown. This time fighting out to the 19-yard line.
Really interesting here. They're running the ball. Of course, there are 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They may just be looking to try to control this 4th if they can, take a lot of time off the clock, maybe go down with a score. We'll see what happens.
Gia will let it loose. And that is caught by Bandit, but getting maybe a yard on a big 3rd down. And to your point from earlier, KD, this prolonged drive, if they can convert here, will give their defense a significant amount of rest, something that we didn't see a lot from them in the waning moments of the first half.
That's exactly right.
Brown gets the call on 3rd and 4, and down he goes in the backfield. Josh Farnsey, how do you do, sir?
He's coming alive, isn't he? I mean, all of a sudden, this second half, we've really mentioned him. Another great play. He's one of those guys that when it comes down to momentum, the more that you get him involved, the more contact he has, the harder he is to bring down as the game goes on.
And this will be maybe the biggest drive of the game coming up here. Vancouver puts pressure on the punt, and Farouk does get it away. Fair catch from Blackwell at the 42. They'll spot it at the 43 with exactly 7 minutes remaining in regulation.
It will be interesting, as we were talking about, if they could have converted there on that 3rd down, just maybe how it could have changed the landscape of this 4th quarter. We don't know what's going to happen, but I certainly could see what they were trying to do there, which was try to have a methodical drive and not leave a lot of time on the board for Vancouver.
This is the best starting field position that Vancouver has had this entire game. Redford. Stop behind the line. A huge play there by Miles Gibson flying into the Vancouver backfield.
That was a thing of beauty. If you love defense, now you're getting, the first half you got all the offense you wanted. If you love smash mouth football on the defensive side, you're getting it this second half. Great play right there.
Tulsa desperate to keep Vancouver out of the end zone on this drive and give their offense a chance to tie this or even win it. Redford again. And Redford has nowhere to go. Up the middle for a second straight play. This time it's Berto Demora coming up with a stop. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the big guy, he's got 1 sack today, right? Now he has 2 tackles. He's really keeping that line right there busy, and it's getting exciting right here.
4 wideouts and James Walters on the field for Vancouver. Brown in the shotgun. Over the middle. And that is intercepted! Tulsa with their 2nd pick of the game. And what a time for it.
Wow. What about that? We talked about that. Which defense is going to step up and make the big play? And right there it is. Look at that. Reading it the whole time. Perfect. Just stepping in front of that pass. I mean, what a nice job.
That was Lee Palmer, the number 5 corner on this Desperados roster, coming up with a big-time play at absolutely the right time. And now JQ has less than 6 minutes to get some points for his team. Trips to his right. Brown gets a call. And Brown struggling for yardage, bouncing off those white-shirted Vancouver defenders like they're bowling pins. And he gets 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
Man, I can't get over how quick an SFL game can change, right? I mean, it's just like a seesaw.
It's fluid.
Now, it's amazing. Now we're back, Tulsa with wonderful field position, whereas before they were backed up to the goal line.
We're at the halfway point of the 4th quarter. And this time, Brown stopped for no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Chris Andrews coming up with a stop there.
And Vancouver's defense now trying to make a stand. And you've seen it now. If I'm not mistaken, just 3 points this whole second half by either team, right? The 1 field goal.
Probably the biggest 3rd down of the game for either team. Q going over the middle. That is deflected and bouncing around and then finally falls incomplete. Q looking for Jay Hume.
Give a shout out to that coverage right there. Fields with a great job. Again, these defenders, though, they're just coming up in a big way. They're locking down, making sure that no big plays are going to happen. I thought he had the interception on that one. That one just,
I did too.
Yep, just slipped out of his hands. Still, though, great defensive play.
Slipped out of his hands, off his shoulders, off his back. It's like a bar of soap.
Perfect analogy.
And now Farouk is going to have to work a little special teams magic to keep his team in this game.
I got to say, I was a little bit surprised that they went for that type play on 3rd and short.
I'm a little bit surprised as well. Blackwell's going to run this out. He's going to get to the 15.
All right.
Well, here we go. Vancouver on the road has a chance to close this game out. Less than 5 minutes remaining. And their stars absolutely came to play. James Walters just shy of 100 yards. Robert Redford just shy of 100 yards. Brett Killian has 6 catches. Chris Curtis 2 catches with 1 touchdown. About as efficient as it gets. Redford stopped for no gain. The Tulsa defense rallying to the cause. It's 2nd down.
They've really stepped up. Like you said, rallying to the cause is exactly right there. I mean, they have taken away everything that we've seen this first half and partially into that third quarter. I mean, he was getting 8 to 10 yards. It seemed like a carry, or it seemed that way anyway. Now they've got him down to 3.7 a carry.
3-back set for Vancouver. Redford again. Redford gets through the first level and nearly gets to the first down. 3 Tulsa defenders piling on, including Cameron Shaw. It'll be 3rd and 2.
I got to think this is a big play, don't you? I mean, this right here, if they don't convert, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Not a lot of time.
And with 2 yards to get a first down, anything is possible here, including going back to number 28. Brown letting time tick off the clock. Redford does get the call. Out to the right side. Has the first down. And is finally brought down by Philadelphia Collins. Before those last 2 runs, Redford had gone 0 on his last 5. 5 carries, 0 yards before breaking those last 2 to finally move the chains for Vancouver, Katie.
Yeah, he got it when he needed it most. It wasn't pretty, and he had to fight for it, but he knows what that means. 4 fresh sets of downs, and the clock is ticking.
Absolutely huge first down, and Chat knows it. Just over 3 minutes remaining now. Redford again, and there's a big hit from Berto DeMora to sit Redford down.
Goodness gracious.
2nd and 14.
That'll take your breath away a little bit. And that's going to make them rethink what they might do here. You know, they stuffed that one out. That was impressive.
And this is probably the first time in this drive that Vancouver has been in an obvious passing situation. And the personnel reflects it. 3 wideouts. James Walters on the field to Brown's left. Redford in the backfield by his lonesome. 5 DBs for Tulsa. Less than 2.5 remaining. Brown, deep drop. Over the head of Redford, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Wow, yeah. What a miscue by the quarterback.
And the clock stops. That's the big thing. Is now we're you know, there's not even to the 2-minute warning yet, and the clock is stopped. That's pretty much like they got a timeout, right? I mean, you know, they got a gimme right there. 3rd and 14. Every second counts in this situation, and so that was big.
That was absolutely huge. And now 5 wideouts on the field. Brown on the shotgun. Pump fake. Over the middle. Finds Huxley again for his 2nd catch of the game, and he's short of the marker, 4th and 1.
Wow.
Also not calling timeout either, Katie.
I noticed that. That's exactly what I was kind of surprised. I guess they're going to be content to run it down to the 2-minute warning. I think that's what we're going to get. Yeah.
Let this go. And they won't have another chance to run down the clock. Time running out for the Desperados. Do they have a miracle waiting for them? Here in week 1, you're watching the Simulation Football League presented by SFL YouTube. Let's go real quick to SFL Studios for a game break.
Thank you, Josh. When you're done in Tulsa, good game going on in Vegas. Tied at 17 now after John Lakeman hits James Matthew Jr. for the score late 3rd quarter there. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. Brian Patrick punts it away. Gabriel Manning at the 28. Gets out to the 34. Time to strap in, get your popcorn ready. Minute 52. They need 3 to tie. 7 points wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, check your pulse. If you're a Tulsa fan, it's about to go up. If you're a Vancouver fan, it is too. You need your defense to make a big stop here. But Tulsa's, you know, they got to be feeling the pressure right here. They got to move up. They got to move upfield.
JQ 18 of 25 on the game so far. Just shy of 200 yards. And he's going to try for some there, and that's intercepted. Right out of the gate. Major key coming up with his 32nd career interception, and that may be lights out for Tulsa.
Very possible. You know, he had the deflection earlier in the game, and then he read that like a book. I guess he read the quarterback's eyes the entire way, but that's a devastating blow. I mean, wonderful defense right there. Great coverage. Let's shout out those guys, how they've done this second half. But that could potentially be a nail in the coffin.
The first interception, the first turnover of the game for Tulsa. As you mentioned, Katie, at the worst possible time. And Sawyer Stern will give Redford a breather, and here come the timeouts from Tulsa.
I don't think we seen that going that way, did we? I mean, I didn't expect it. That was so quick there. It was just like a fleeting moment, and now Vancouver's got the ball back. A thrilling finish here.
Vancouver coming on the road at home, it does not matter. As Redford brought down, and Vancouver still using timeouts. And now 3rd and 8. They have one left. And if they can get a stop here, they're going to get the ball back.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly not over yet. I mean, they've done a good job conserving time right now. Big stop. You hear the crowd in the background. Time for the defense to step up.
Bunch set to Brown's left. 4 wideouts on the field. They're going to throw it here. Short drop to the right side. Killian. And does Killian have the first down? He does.
Yeah, he got just enough. Just enough.
Killian had so many clutch catches in the first half. Comes up with another one there.
Stretch forward just enough to get that first down too, didn't he? I mean, you seen him putting the effort in to make sure he knew where the chains were.
Well, when you're 7 feet tall like Killian is, I mean, it doesn't take much. The Browns going to take a knee. Tulsa will use their last time out. Well, KD, welcome to the SFL family. It was great to have you in the booth. I thought you did an outstanding job. It certainly didn't hurt that we had an amazing game to call.
No, I couldn't have asked for a better time. Thank you, and thank everyone who's a part of this production crew. Of course, Cam, and just everyone from the top to the bottom, man. I tell you, it's been a labor of love. I absolutely have enjoyed my first week, and thank y'all for being so good to me and taking it easy on me there.
Also want to give a shout out to Zach Holdorf and Scott Fowle, taking care of the stats for us tonight, getting us information in real time that makes us look just a little bit smarter. We need all the help we can get. So, guys, thank you. Cameron Irvine, once again, all the work you do putting this league together. Mucho apreciado, sir. Great to be back.
Ditto.
I do want to remind you on SFL YouTube, we do have that fantastic game with Queen City and Las Vegas Brewing. You want to catch the tail end of that, flip on over there. We got an outstanding broadcast team with Chris Curtis and I can't believe I forgot Tim Hackett's name. The immortal Tim Hackett doing play-by-play. And if you thought we looked bad now, wait till you hear Tim and Curtis call a game because they are amazing.
They are. They really are. I've enjoyed listening to them as a fan in the past, so to be a part of the broadcast team too, it is a thrill. We're going to have a fun season. I mean, look at this competition across the board. Let's just go ahead and say that, right? I mean, you know, there's such good teams and such good players. Anything can happen.
You know, I will say this for Tulsa because when Douglas Brown came in, they were looking rough. They went 2-10, and then Brown came in. And you talk about what Brown could do for you. I think he's really changed the complexion of this team, the mentality of this team. And this is a team that expects to get to the playoffs. And you couldn't have said that 3 seasons ago. And Douglas Brown's a big reason why. They went 7-5 his first season here. They went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game, the first time in their history, and then repeated the feat a season ago, going 7-5 again. And I think the sky is the limit for this Tulsa team. They looked great tonight.
Yep. They're going to make noise.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
JQ's going to let one rip, and that is just a bit out of the reach of Gabriel Manning with 8 seconds left. And maybe we should wait before we bury this team for the clock to run out. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you see how they've done all game. I mean, they got something up their sleeve possibly. Like I say, it's not over yet. Let's make sure the marching band don't make it out onto the field, right?
Absolutely. Very well stated. 8 seconds remaining. JQ in the shotgun. 2-back set. One will stand to block. Q's going to fire it over the middle, and that is intercepted again. And that officially will be all she wrote.
Lopez, watch him. He's a cat on the prowl. Did you see that? I mean, just backing up into coverage there, kind of a chameleon. And he stepped right up in front of that pass. Nice job.
Is he a cat or is he a chameleon disguised as a cat?
I don't know. I think it's probably the other way around.
He's a chameleon. He could disguise himself as just about anything, I would think.
This is sponsored by Animal Wild Kingdom there, right? Apparently, they're doing a little Jack Hanna on you.
That's right. Clock hits 000. Congratulations to the Vancouver Legion. You just won an outstanding football game, 24-21. Cameron Duty, your thoughts on the game, sir?
Absolute fun. I've watched every game to the best of my ability so far this week, and I got to tell you, man, that was fun. That had everything. That had offense the first half. Second half, we had great defense. Limiting to 3 points the entire second half. It was a tale of two halves. I mean, what can you say? Great job by Brown. Great job by Redford. This defense. Both teams showed up to play there at the end. I'm excited for both of these teams. They're going to make noise. We're going to see them again later on down the line. This could be really good. I mean, we could be looking at some potential powerhouses here.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of great quarterbacks as well. Christian Brown and JQ, each quarterback in his 5th season in the league. Each of them had a couple of interceptions, although Q's came more the second one there at garbage time. The sky's the limit for both of these teams. Vancouver, they do it year in and year out, and I think Tulsa, culturally and physically on the field, I think they're at a point where they could do that. They've got one of the best running backs in the league, and running Brown, and Douglas Brown, veteran receiving core, and a very stout defense as well that flies the ball and is fun to watch. Your player of the game tonight officially is Christian Brown, 28-35, 284 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For my new best friend in the whole world, Cameron Duty. For Scott Fowl, Zach Holdorf, Cameron Irvine, I'm Josh Zirkle. We'll have more SFL football for you on YouTube. Until then, we will see you on the internet. Congratulations again to the Vancouver Legion.